Hey there, fellas. Mike Yarbrough of Wolf and Iron coming at you here. I know it's been a while since I've talked to you guys on the video, and some of that has to do with the fact that my camera and my phone and my microphone haven't been getting along all that well. But I'm back, and I want to give you guys just a quick entrepreneur's update, a little business insight as to how things are going. I know some of you guys follow along just to kind of see how my businesses go, and you like to hear about the kind of behind the scenes things. We're kind of in a new period of growth and evolution for the businesses. And so for those of you who aren't familiar, I have two different businesses. I have Rustic in Maine, which is a ring crafting business. We make these awesome wedding rings out of historic woods and other unique materials. That's really the breadwinner. That's the guy that brings in all the bacon. And then I've got this thing, Wolf and Iron. And Wolf and Iron still isn't a profitable business yet. But that's okay, because it has been more of a mission-oriented type of thing, and it's finally getting some kind of traction in terms of having a store and some kind of potential income and things of that nature. But so I want to talk to you guys a little bit more about Wolf and Iron, but I thought I would also talk just really quickly to update you guys on Rustic in Maine. So a lot of you guys know I started Rustic in Maine in my garage. Last June, I quit my job to go full-time with Rustic, and I had at that time I think 1 or 2 employees. Well, actually no, I had about three or four employees that were either somewhere between full and part-time. Well, since then we've grown to about 16 different employees. We're in our building now. You guys can go back and look at some of the old videos, past videos, and see just some tours, some walkthroughs of the building and that kind of stuff. And man, guys, we're just still growing. It's just awesome. We're actually getting, we've got about 3,000 square feet, and it's starting to feel kind of small, to be honest. It feels nice. It's not bad, but we're realizing that we could really use some more room for storage, especially now that Wolf and Iron has a store, and we've got t-shirts and beard oils and that kind of stuff, and they're really kind of its own animal. It really needs its own space. Anyhow. But we're working through it right now, and we're happy with where we are. We're just kind of thinking down the road a little bit, where we're going to be in a year. So Rustic in Maine's doing really well. I won't bore you guys with more details about that, although it may not be that boring. So Wolf and Iron, though. So what's going on with Wolf? Well, so the Wolf and Iron store launched in November of 2017, so last year. Not quite a year ago yet. When we launched the store, we only had 2 t-shirts, I think 2 prints, and my book. That was about it, right? But we launched, and sales weren't that great. Didn't really expect them to be that great, but would have taken a bunch of sales, obviously, if that had happened. Since then, we've come up with, I think we have 4 t-shirt designs, but we're about to hit to 6. We have new prints that are coming out. We've got my book still out there. But we also launched the beard oils, and it's just been really cool to see that every time we do a launch of some kind of product, we get more and more sales than we thought we would, or than the previous launch of whatever the product was. And so, for example, with the beard oils that just went out, as you guys ordered those, there were also orders of t-shirts and prints and various things to go along with that. And so it's really been cool to see the store grow, but it's also been very different than what we experienced with Rustic. So, to kind of give you guys some insight here, Rustic in Maine, we sell rings, and the rings are several $100s a piece, and the profit on that's pretty good. So when we sell a ring, the profit's decent. And so if you can imagine a startup business that is basically making profit right out of the gate in an industry that's doing, very well, weddings and that kind of stuff, especially being something unique. It had almost kind of an explosion type of, it's a very unusual startup success story with Rustic. And I recognize that. I don't expect Wolf and Iron to be the exact same kind of thing at all. The Wolf and Iron store, however, is, I've got you guys who pay attention to this stuff and follow me and listen to the podcast and things like that. But it's also not very niche in terms of, it's still apparel, it's beard oils, it's things that guys could probably get other places, but they shouldn't. In any case, it's a much larger industry. It's much more of a red ocean. That's how marketing people would talk about it, rather than a blue ocean where it's just me and only me and plenty of people to be had, I guess, by sharks or something. Anyhow, so Wolf and Iron is really in that industry that has a lot of competition. I've got to figure out how to rise to the top. And so even with the beard oils, they're fantastic. And you guys should, those of you who placed your orders, should be receiving those any day now. And let me know what you think about them. I'd love to have your feedback. But I know the feedback's going to be stellar on those. But still, we've got to rise above all the other beard oil and beard people and sales, right? And people who do that, like that's their main gig for their business. And so there's a lot more of an investment and a lot more of a challenge in the Wolf and Iron side of the store than there is for Rustic in Maine. With Rustic, it was just, we basically launched, and it's been just increasing in traffic and sales and stuff ever since, and almost to the point where it's been difficult to rein it in. It's been difficult to grow at the pace that the orders are coming in. Wolf and Iron, not so much, but that's understood. I also want to talk about some things that are happening on the Wolf and Iron mission side. So if you think about it, we've got the brand side now, and then we've got the mission side. And the mission side is the podcast, is videos like this, it's blog articles and stuff like that. And it will be the Foundry once the Foundry launches in January. So haven't forgot about that, still working on that. But the mission side of things is, and also the store side, are at this crux that a lot of businesses really have a hard time navigating, and it's a point where most businesses should have moved past much longer, much earlier in the process of their business development than they do. And it is that point where you've got to form a team to do the things, and the team has to do. The team would consist of all the people that do the things that you would typically do yourself. So, for example, with a podcast, there are a lot of things, guys. There are many. There's hours that go into every podcast episode, and Truck Talk Thursday maybe not so much, but there's at least an hour with that. But with every podcast episode, we've got to schedule it. We've got to figure out who we're going to talk to. We've got to record it. And that's usually an hour and a half. We've got to do some editing. We've got to do the promotion, and then there's promotion after the initial promotion. And all those things, they cost money, they take time, but each of those things are things that I would typically do myself, except that I need a team now, right? As you begin to grow and you want to become more consistent with things, you got to have a team that helps put things together, and a team that you can trust. And some of the challenges that come along with that, and the same is true for shipping out stuff as well. So, like, the orders that when we release a new product on the Wolf and Iron store, we get orders in kind of big batches, big volumes, and or big-ish volumes, and so then we have to ship out all these products, and then it kind of dies down for a while because we don't do marketing very well yet. But you have to think about all these different pieces and the people that can go in there. Who's a good fit for what part of the process? How do we kind of begin to break these processes down into these manageable and repeatable steps? And it's just a challenge, guys, and a lot of people aren't up for it. Now we've done it very well with Rustic in Maine, thank God. With Wolf and Iron, I think we're on the right track, and so I want to let you guys know we do have a producer for Wolf and Iron, which is just crazy, but we've got a producer now. His name is Cody Lanham, and Cody, if you're watching this, thanks, brother, I appreciate you. Cody's a stellar guy. This video isn't all about Cody, so I'm not going to go into a bunch of details, but he is the right man for the job. And nailing that down is harder than you guys think. We also have an editor as part of the team, Gabe. So Gabe takes all the podcast episodes and works some magic on them, makes them sound awesome. And then and we're trying to look for somebody who will be doing some of the production, post-production type of stuff, meaning like sending out emails, Instagram, Facebook, promo type things. And so this team has come together, guys, and it's really cool to see, but it's also the scary side. And it's scary for Wolf and Iron in a different way than it was for Rustic. With Rustic, I could say, well, we're making money, let's hire people to do these things. With Wolf and Iron, it's like the more true business investment that has to take place. I don't have I'm not selling hundreds of orders a month with Wolf and Iron, but we will be, I believe. And so really what we're doing is we're saying, okay, there's this future plan that I really, really believe in. And in order to make that vision come to fruition, I've got to put people in place. And in order to put people in place, I've got to invest in the business. That means I've got to take thousands of dollars, usually probably a month, invest in ads and invest in people, and really believe in the mission. And so that's where I think probably a lot of people get hung up. They don't want to take that risk. They don't really, really, really believe that outside of themselves that their mission is worthwhile. But I do, guys. I do. I believe that this mission is worthwhile for sure, and it's going to grow. I think in the next several months, you guys are going to see Wolf and Iron happening with a consistency, with podcasts, articles, more products coming out in a way that you guys haven't seen ever before. And I'm excited about that. I know there are going to be challenges with that. I know that there are going to be probably some hurdles that come along, but that's okay. Part of growing pains. But we are going to grow, and the store is going to become a well-known brand for men to connect with. And as they connect with the brand, they will connect with the mission. Or as they connect with the mission, they will connect with the brand. And not only that, I'm pursuing it because it's much needed. It satisfies something in my heart and in my soul to do this kind of work, to help men be better men, to help them heed the high call that's on their lives. I've been helped with that myself. I'm still getting help with that. And this is my way to help spread the word, to get that going to a greater degree than we've seen in a number of generations. And so that's it, guys. That's my update. I'm almost home. I just wanted to give you guys some insight into how things are going. I'm excited. I don't always express that, with my face. But I am, guys. I'm really excited. I'm really excited about the people that are on the team. I'm really excited about the growth. I'm excited to be able to invest finally in this mission beyond just my lunch breaks and beyond just some ideas here and there and spare time. Feeling blessed. And I'm feeling very hopeful for the future. All right, guys. That's all I got. Appreciate your attention. Love any feedback you have, as always. Talk to you later.